Hello everyone, welcome to another weekly reading vlog. I really enjoyed the one I did last week, so I'm doing another one this week, and I'm kind of continuing where I left off, so if you missed that one, I'll put a link down below so you can check that out. I basically started the Wayward Children series by Shannon and Mcguire, and I am on the third one now. So I have the audiobook for that. I also am physically reading a copy of Frost by Marianne Bear, and then I have the e-reader copy of, or the ebook copy of How to Avoid a Climate Disaster by Bill Gates that I am borrowing from the library. So I think I'm really going to focus on that one because I have just the rest of this week left to be borrowing that. So I'm probably going to try to finish that as quickly as possible, also because I'm not really enjoying it, but I still want to push through and finish it, give it the benefit of the doubt. But right now I'm going to probably listen to, I think it's called Below the Sugar Sky. It's the third one in the Wayward Children series. I think it's Beneath the Sugar Sky. And I'm going to change out my bed sheets because they are currently Christmas themed, and it's the 18th of January, and I am wearing Christmassy pajama bottoms tonight, but I'm kind of over the Christmas bedding, and that really needs to get washed. So I'm going to probably listen while I swap that out. I've also been going through the Books Unbound Patreon and like listening to some of the previous live streams and stuff like that. So I'm probably going to listen to some of that. I am alone for the next few days while my boyfriend is on a business trip, so Ariel and Raylene are keeping me company via the interwebs and past live streams. Makes me feel a little bit less alone. I also need to try to clean up the bathroom a little bit. I am also using these Crest whitening strips, and I don't think they're really doing anything, or maybe it's just that I drink too much coffee. So, yeah, I have to do that to keep up with my schedule for doing that. But it's going to be a pretty chill evening, and I'm also probably going to make a snack because I had my lunch at work around 3 o'clock, and it's 8 p.m. now, and I'm just kind of starting to get hungry. But if I don't eat anything, that'll be bad. So yeah, let's get on with it. I also wanted to show you that my Pura Vida bracelet monthly club arrived today. So we've got this little golden one, a little orange braided one, and then this little sun charm that's got half pink and half orange. So that's pretty cute. And I know there was another option that included blue colors, but I'm not sure what was part of that. I just went for this one. And then we get this sticker that says Color My World. So that was the monthly club. If you're interested in joining or you want to purchase anything else from Pura Vida bracelets, I have a link. And if you purchase, I think it's everything pretty much besides the monthly clubs and the mystery items will be 20% off if you use my code. And get yourself something cute. I know they have Harry Potter and Hello Kitty stuff, and also some Disney items now, which is pretty fun. Good morning. It is Wednesday now. So last night I listened to about a quarter of Beneath the Sugar Sky, and I'm really enjoying how this one seems to kind of be like pushing the story along a bit better. There's less kind of random things going on before the actual story. Like this one, the story starts and it just kind of keeps going, you know? So I am enjoying that aspect, and I'm interested in like the whole premise. Essentially, there's this girl who arrives at the boarding school for these like fairy tale children, and she is looking for her mom, but her mom is dead. So everyone's like, she couldn't have possibly had a kid because she's dead, but here you are. So it's very interesting, and kind of the longer she stays here, the more likely it is she'll just like vanish. So she's trying to find her mom and save her life. So yeah, it's kind of intense. So I am really enjoying that. I might even finish that one today. I don't know. It depends on if I feel like listening or like reading something later on. And then last night, right before bed, I did read a little bit more in How to Avoid a Climate Disaster by Bill Gates. I am nearly 40% of the way through that book, and so far I'm really not impressed, to say the least. So I'm hoping that the next section gets better. So far, we have mainly been talking about electricity, which seems to be something that Bill Gates cares about the most out of everything, which is fine, but it does seem a little bit disingenuous. It seems like he cares about the projects related to the electricity that he has invested in, less so than the actual problems, because he's mainly speaking about the cost of implementing green initiatives, new infrastructure, things like that. It's very heavily focused on the cost of everything, and it's not focused at all on the environmental cost of if we don't implement these things, if these things don't happen, if we can't build the infrastructure, make these changes. So I'm a little annoyed about that. It's also like kind of glossing over the whole life cycle of these things. Like it's kind of briefly talking about it, but I feel like if you don't really look into wind or solar production, you don't know everything that goes into creating these systems, and starting from like mining all the way up to having a functional system producing electricity. There's a lot of steps along the way, and that's not just money, but that's environmental costs as well because of mining and transportation. So I'm hesitantly going to finish it and give it the benefit of the doubt. Honestly, like, could this be a good introduction to environmental issues? I had high hopes, and I don't feel like I would recommend this book to anybody who is interested in learning more about the environment. I don't think it's doing a good job. I think it's oversimplifying the issues, and that's when I think we get people thinking, oh, if it's just the cost that's the problem, then why don't these billionaires like Bill Gates just put their money towards it and fix it, when it's much more complicated than that. I feel like he's making it seem easier than it is to fix the problems we've got going on, and I don't know, like I said, just oversimplifying things. I am hoping the next few sections of the book get better, but I don't have high hopes. So I am going to eat some breakfast, I think, maybe read a little bit more before work, and then probably update you once I get back, maybe on my lunch break if I have time. So talk to you in a bit. So I bought my cat this camper from the pet store in town, and it's so stinking cute, and he's so cute. He loves it. So one of the things I am really enjoying about Bill Gates' book is that he is putting his own personality into this. It's not just listing facts and statistics at you the entire time. He does kind of joke around a little bit, and I've got 2 examples to share. So at this part of the book, he's talking about steel production, and then he's going to be talking about concrete. So he says, right after talking about all the steel production stuff, as challenging as that may sound, concrete is even harder. Sorry, no pun intended. And I just find that kind of thing amusing. I think it's funny that he's throwing in some jokes to kind of keep the reader entertained. This is a good way to kind of bring scientific information to a more generalized audience, because just throwing statistics and numbers and facts around can be really daunting to most people. So I am enjoying that he's doing stuff like this. Another example is on like the next page, at least in my ebook version of it, and he's starting to talk about plastics, and it says, today there are more than 24 types of plastics, and they range from the kind of thing you might expect, the polypropylene in yogurt containers, for example, to more surprising uses like the acrylic in paint, floor polish, and laundry detergent, or the microplastics in soap and shampoo, or the nylon in your waterproof jacket, or the polyester in all those regrettable clothes I wore in the 1970s. And it's stuff like this that is making me kind of push through and enjoy the book more, rather than just kind of getting frustrated. And I think he is kind of acknowledging the things I was complaining about just a little bit, but they are, really being glossed over most of the time. It's like a brief mention and that's it, and we don't go back to that and discuss it more, which is what I would have liked to see. He's kind of like, these things are really bad for the environment the way we do them. Here's a way that we can fix that, and that's kind of how this is going. So it's a little bit better than what I was saying before, but it's still not, I don't know, it's still not impressing me as much as I was hoping for, but maybe I'll have a different opinion once I finish the book completely. Oh my god, you guys, if it is extra dark and terrible lighting tonight, it's because my neighbors just like stomped around so obnoxiously that they caused a part of my like ceiling light fixture to literally fall and smash. I'm going to insert the photos I took here. I wasn't even thinking about vlogging because I was just like, what the heck? And panicked and had to keep the cat away from the glass. I had to get the glass, like I had to clean out his food bowls because the glass went all the way over to where his food is, and like he could have, if I wasn't home, my cat could have been eating glass, and now I have to like file a complaint with the building manager about the noise upstairs, and I'm just like so flustered at the moment. Yeah, it's been so frustrating. Our neighbors are so loud all the time, and now they're quiet, so I feel like if I were to call anybody, they might not even like be there now. That could have been when they were leaving and like shut their door or something. So bizarre. anyways, I am going to watch Ariel's video about her house tour because I'm excited to hear about that. And, oh man, just try to relax after that. Oh my god. I also think it might be time to say goodbye to the Christmas tree and finally clean up this situation happening over here. It is a sad day, but it is overdue, I think. It's the 20th of January. All the Christmas and Halloween stuff has been packed up and needs to go into storage, but just figured I'd show the, after, because I took a little before clip with the tree. Good morning! It is Tuesday, the 25th now, and I have some updates. I also have coffee, because I just woke up and got dressed. And a kitty! So, I got 69% of the way through How to Avoid a Climate Disaster by Bill Gates. It was getting better. He was starting to discuss more of the problems that will happen if we do not do anything and the cost that would be. Although it was very brief and it didn't happen until chapter 9 or 10. So I personally wish that was happening sooner in the book, but that's alright. We got there eventually, and he is making a lot of good points. But I also can't help but feel like the majority of his points just kind of loop back to him a little bit. Every time he discusses an issue, he's like, here's the issue, here's why it's a problem, here's why we need to fix it, here's some solutions for how to fix it, here's what we can do, and then he's like, here's what I personally have invested in that is going to help us. And I don't like that it kind of feels a little show-off-y, and like he wrote the book just to discuss those aspects more so than anything else. There are a few things that he invested in, and he's like, this totally didn't work out. And I appreciate him discussing those things as well, because that is important to talk about when things don't work out but still create progress. Research into something new that doesn't turn out the way you expect it to does not mean it's bad research. It doesn't mean that we didn't make any progress. It doesn't mean that the research is not useful or that it was a waste of time. Even things that go wrong or don't go the way we expected or are quote-unquote a failure teach us something, and I like that aspect was mentioned. Anyway, I basically didn't finish because I ran out of time on my library loan, so I just went ahead and returned it a few hours early to let the next person read it, and they put it on hold again. So once I get that, I'll finish the last 30% and formulate a better opinion about the book in its entirety. But I did want to show you a little mini book haul. It's only 2 books, and one of them's not mine, but I did want to show you that. So my boyfriend and I recently went to our local little indie bookstore, and he picked up this gorgeous copy. Can you see how pretty that is? Of the complete collection of Grimm's fairy tales. Do you see how gorgeous this book is? It's got sprayed gold edges. This is the Canterbury Classics edition, and he decided that this might be his favorite set of classics, like the this type of edition, and I have to agree, except for the Jane Austen ones look terrible in my opinion. I don't like the color they chose. But even though this is technically like his book, I am definitely going to read this. It's got everything in it, and I would love to see where a lot of the Disney princess stories originated and just the other ones that I haven't even heard of. And then the other book is Sheets by Brenna Thumler. This is one I have heard about from Ariel Bissett on the Books Unbound podcast for like ever and ever. She talks about this book constantly, and I've also listened to Brenna Thumler on her podcast, and there is a sequel to this, but I got like the, I don't know, is this the deluxe edition? It's like got some bonus content in it of the original Sheets, and there is a sequel called Delicates that is out as well that I'll probably want to get after I read this. I'm hoping to read this very soon. Look at just like how gorgeous these illustrations are. And I also noticed that on Brenna Thumler's website, she has a like Gilmore Girls related print that I will definitely be trying to get my hands on because I love that like art style and I love the print that she made. So I am going to probably be getting that, and I am hopefully going to read Sheets soon. I definitely want to read more graphic novels. It's just something I don't end up picking up very much because they are so expensive for the amount of time that you're reading, but it's totally worth it. You're obviously paying for this like gorgeous art that is happening in the book. Like, look at that. So it's definitely worth it, and you're supporting a great artist and author. So, Sheets. Let's see, any other updates? I also have not finished Beneath the Sugar Sky yet, even though that would be such a quick read. I had kind of been focusing on how to avoid a climate disaster this week, and I really didn't get that far. So yeah, that's kind of my little update at the moment. So the plans for this week are to finish Beneath the Sugar Sky, maybe read Sheets, and hopefully actually read Frost, because I have been dying to pick up like physical books lately. I just never have the time anymore. So those are my reading plans for the week.